Hello, citizens of YouTube. This is the Geeky Nerd here, and today we're going to be talking about the Griffin Armament SOB, Suppressor Optimized Buffer. Boy, I love Griffin's naming nomenclature. Before I begin, though, I'd like to send a big thank you out to everyone who's liked, commented, and subscribed on the previous videos. I always appreciate it and always enjoy talking to you guys. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you enjoy this video, enjoy this type of content, please consider liking, commenting, and/or subscribing. Whew, with the PR out the way, let's get into it. So, this video is a small, short, hopefully easy video here. In part of a larger video series of making the honey badger at home, to where I'm essentially taking the ideologies and ideas of the honey badger, 300 blackout, also the design aesthetics, and making one at home. And so one thing I wanted to put in it was the Griffin Armament here. One for the color choice, and two for the design of it and how it differs from a standard buffer. So with that, here's the packaging. Comes in nice overall. And then here's the buffer. So what makes this buffer different? So getting a real kind of close up again as it's coming out the box or the bag. Standard finish, nothing too crazy polished, right? You can't see some machining marks. It does have a roll pin that goes all the way through. It is a sliding two-piece buffer. Here's a Griffin Armament AR-SOB. Good name for it. And then, again, just this overall 17.4 stainless design. So, and then just a standard end piece there, buffer. So as I said, this is 17.4 stainless. There's a lot going on here. So 17.4 stainless body with a brass, basically strike face, right? With a sliding mechanism here. But there is no hydraulics, right? So it isn't like a spring or shock buffer, but it just does move a bit. It has an internal pin. It has rubber dampers on the inside, and it has shot weights. So similar to, just small, like little beads. And what this is supposed to do is that whenever it goes back into battery, right, it's going to essentially slide forward. And then once it hits, the internal mechanism or the internal shot weights are going to act like a dead blow hammer and essentially hit that bolt forward, basically keeping a battery, right? So as it recoils, in a perfect world, it's going to hit, take that initial slight shock, right? So just diminishing, and then spreading out over the course of the entire travel. And then when it's returning, right, this is going to accelerate a bit faster. And then as it finally hits to the very end of its travel, this part's going to slide forward and slam it just that extra little bit. So again, taking that first initial bit of shock, and then as it's returning, this slides forward, and then acts as a dead blow hammer to prevent, basically prevent bolt bounce. And as the name implies, being a suppressor optimized buffer, whenever you're running those higher back pressures, and whenever you're doing potentially a higher cyclic rate of fire, you want to eliminate that bolt bounce, and you want to have a smoother trajectory across the recoil. So that is the quick and dirty about this bulk carrier buffer. They're for about, I think, about 60-ish. They do directly compare with the KAK K-Spec Enhanced Buffer. The difference is that the KAK one has a spring in there, to where this one is just relying on standard sliding hydraulic action, but it doesn't look as pretty in my opinion. And I think with the brass piece, there's definitely a little bit more metallurgy, a little bit more machining, and just generally overall a better design. Now, a standard buffer, an H2, H3, something like a gassy, what have you, will fare quite well for you. But one thing as well is that there is, obviously, it's going to make a little bit of noise, here, right? But internally, when you hold this, see, there is no noise, to where on H2s, H3s, what have you, you can hear those weights slide around, so it potentially is a bit of a noisier buffer than this one, since this one only makes noise whenever it is basically going through its cyclic rate or cyclic motion. But considering you're going to have other noises there, it isn't really imparted versus the other ones that have only the rubber dampers, but they're not fully compressed in like this one is. So with that, guys, yeah, I think the technology is pretty neat. I'm going to see how it fares, but just wanted to show you guys, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you guys think it's a gimmick? You think the name is the best thing ever? You think it's pretty worthwhile? Please put that down in the comments. I'd love to hear it, and I'll be sure to do some reviews to kind of test it out, see how it works. But with that, please consider liking, commenting, and/or subscribing if you did like this video, and I hope everyone's having a wonderful, awesome, fantastic day. I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.